another episode of Digitalized Lab by Digitalized Agency, episode number 15. The weather is great.
Crazy.
Once again. And we're
quite
all
great
at
here,
a
to be
different
honest.
location. That's why we're online. But we're here. What
Yeah.
happened this week,
So
guys?
it's, what is it even? You're in France, Sebastian is in
Correct.
Germany, I think, and I'm still here in the grey old Netherlands.
Is it actually grey? Or
Right now
is the sun out?
It's very grey.
But not
it's-
raining,
it's-
right?
No, I'm happy that it got a bit more chilled down again now.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
here it shouldn't rain tomorrow and the next 3 days. So let's see.
No,
Let's hope I didn't go from the Netherlands, the rainy Netherlands, to rainy Germany, but let's
We'll
find
see.
out.
All right, but yeah, a lot of things have happened. A lot of tools, models, and blah 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 have been released.
Actually,
so,
in the last 2 weeks, I don't know how many models, but more than 10, and 10 really
especially
good
open
ones.
source is just blasting out new models. I think it's
Hmm.
insane.
I found one of my new hobbies is actually, I mean, you guys know that I love to scroll on Marktblatt for old servers.
Of
but-
course.
Now I love to just scroll through Hugging Face, the model list. I don't know, I think I went
Fair.
on Hugging Face today 3 times, yesterday 5 times, the day before. Love
Yeah,
it.
it's fun. It's fun, especially if you have a machine like you have.
Yeah,
it
but
is fun.
I max it completely out. I max it completely out. The
I can
AMD
imagine.
Strix Halo, awesome chip. But another huge news, Unsloth now comes to AMD. So now you can fine-tune models also on AMD hardware and also on the Strix Halo. So we might
Crazy.
get
Fun.
soon a little fine-tuned Quen model for us on my little machine.
Sounds beautiful. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Like retrain it basically. You take the open weights and you can kind of fine tune it or what?
Yeah, fine-tuning. So it's not
Fun.
retraining, but basically post-training and yeah.
Fun.
But to be honest, I don't know how long it would take on my machine. I gotta test it out, but with 128
Looking forward
gigabytes.
to see. You can tell us next.
We need more
episode.
capacity. We need more resources.
That as well. The
The
actually fits
RTX
quite well into. Sorry.
the
go ahead.
RTX Pro 6000. 2 months ago it was at 9,999. Now it's at 12,500.
Bargain.
Bro, that is a better investment than all of my stocks.
Fair enough.
If
to
I
be
would have
honest.
bought-
But it's
no.
also hard to beat, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
Go back and buy RAM in 2022. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
want to start with the models, I think. Finn.
Yeah, I just wanted to say it's a perfect segue to quite an interesting, obvious topic. I guess maybe some people have heard it already, but the open source model, especially like the whole list, but especially the Chinese, in a sense, Kimi K3, but also the upcoming Quen 3.8. Not upcoming, actually launched this week.
But only the Max version, I believe.
Yeah, not fully yet. The open weights
Yeah,
are not released
Max
yet,
preview for testing probably to file out the better.
but it's coming. No, but I think the most interesting part is Kimi K3 because it's being used so much, like not only by Chinese companies but also by US companies now, that the Kimi K servers have actually hit their capacity limit and they can't handle any more inference. So they basically they have a stop right now. Like they can't even you have rate
cannot
limits
sign
which
up.
are insanely low.
Yeah, you cannot even
And-
sign up for a new subscription.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now they're trying to, I guess, up their capacity, but it shows really how fast the open weight adoption, not only in the Chinese market, but kind of in the US market and hopefully soon the European market as well, goes, and it's only accelerating. So it's even in the White House, they are thinking about basically like the Trump's kind of advisors are kind of split, supposedly at least. To how to shape it basically, because some think you should restrict it and some think you shouldn't, because an open market is better for the US companies in that sense,
So
to stay
restrict
competitive.
access in the US. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, to US companies. So basically just tell them you're only allowed to use US models.
Mm.
Imagine the EU doing that. Only Mistral from now on.
Germany actually launched their first model, I think, a week ago or 2 weeks ago. Yeah, proprietary or also open weights, blah blah blah. But you just cannot compare.
Yeah,
I think it's not even on the benchmark with Quen 3.6 or something. But I mean, the first step is done. We have a model now that is supposedly good in German. So I didn't try it, but
let's see.
Fun. Yeah, but also with Kimi K3, I mean, if you try to stop access, people will find a way around.
100%. But if it's a companies, they won't take the risk of, they're probably just going to choose the US then, because I don't think like a major company would take the risk of getting fined by the government. Maybe
not one of the top 5, but underneath that, I believe, because I mean the intelligence is there. Kimi K3 is supposedly close to Fable 5, and on a fraction of the price. That is not $50 out for Fable.
How much is it?
Fable is $50 out and 30 in, and Kimi K3 is, I think, let me lie, 10 in and 25 out or something. If that is not even too high. But
also with
that is the whole
DeepSeek V. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that is the whole thing. I mean, if you have the intelligence
$3 in, 15 out. Sorry.
3 in. Yeah. See? That is
a major difference.
Crazy. And the intelligence
Still, for Kimi,
is
quite expensive though.
On par with Fable 5. And then if you compare the intelligence level with the price per intelligence or whatever you want to call that unit, I bet you people will find a way around it.
Yeah. No. Interesting, to be honest. Let's see how that's... overall, it just shows how fast open source models kind of take over. Same with Dario, Anthropic CEO, being mad at open source now openly. It's a good sign for us normal human beings. But yeah, it will be an interesting change.
I think that is a bit more thought behind it than just flaming against open source. Because, I mean, 100%. They move away from Fable to other models if you have the intelligence, like we just said, on a different price level.
Yeah. That's interesting. But yeah, that was a big topic, I would say.
Did you guys see that DeepSeek V4? They had like this promotional price, right? Like pricing, and they're keeping it. Eh?
Yeah, forever, right?
Yeah, forever.
Yeah, it's insane.
So it's quite insane of like all of them how much cheaper they are on every benchmark.
Yeah.
But I also heard rumors about DeepSeek V5. So let's see. I think that will take a month or 2 more. But
what were the rumors?
Do you have any details?
No, that is it. It is just people think that the actual rumors. So no leak, no post, nothing from anyone. But basically, just people are saying that DeepSeek V5 is on the way and it needs a bit more training and it should be another DeepSeek moment. I don't know if that is just marketing or hyping it up, but I'm excited to see. Especially
probably, but let's see.
Especially, I mean, with DeepSeek, what they did for just the open source with the Transformers architecture and all of that stuff. Awesome to see that they're developing so fast.
It's cool. Now we're also still waiting on Google.
Fair.
Just to mention. Because last time we said it's going to be released in like 7 days or something. It was not. So let's see.
No.
Also, Moonshot, the company behind Kimi, as you guys know. Also, guess how much they raised their valuation between May and now? How much were they worth in May, and how much are they worth now?
I mean, the K series kind of got them up to here probably. Like in percentage wise or in numbers?
Numbers.
Can you tell me where they were? Like what was the May?
In May.
15.
15 what?
15 billion.
Yeah, it was 2 billion in May.
Okay.
2.
I mean, let's give it like a 20. If I look at Claude, Anthropic, OpenAI, all of those, it could be way more. It could be a bit less. It depends.
No, actually, right on. It is actually plus 20.
So 22 now.
I guess so, yeah.
Well.
So quite impressive.
It is.
Yeah,
but it's still so small compared to the US valuations.
Exactly.
Just because it's a Chinese model. If it would be a US model, it would be at 800 billion.
But the value they're delivering is arguably the same. So you tell me which one are a little bit over valuated.
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting topic. Now, I mean, you can argue, I guess, that Kimi K is a model foundry, so like Moonshot in that sense. Like they don't do anything but produce models in that sense. And I think Anthropic, Claude and stuff, they're doing a lot more than that. Like also the desktop app is hella advanced nowadays. Claude Code is hella advanced. Like
but Kimi has something similar, no?
Claude's science that they're looking into now. I don't know what Kimi has, to be honest. Do they have like a nice
I think
CLI
we're just not in their ecosystem.
Every model.
Maybe.
Every big model lab basically has their own CLI tool, their own IDE, where they basically try to manage the agents. But it's basically all the same. It is like Cursor, whatever.
VS Code clones.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, interesting. Let's see where it goes. I'm also interested on Qwen 3.8, to be honest. 2.8 trillion parameters.
That is going to be a awesome model, I believe.
And even more pressure on the Western pricing.
That for sure. But, I mean, the best part about Qwen 3.8 is they already said that it will open source smaller models. So 35B, probably 27B models like Qwen 3.6 and all of that stuff. And that is just awesome.
Anything else you can't run anyways.
No, but that is just awesome for the home consumer or people that just want to run them locally. Because, I mean, 2.8 trillion parameters. Have fun with that.
Fair. Cool. Yeah, let's see. There's also the White House. I think I mentioned it last time, but now it's like nearly formalized. They do have a framework now for basically between the administration and Frontier AI Labs on how to and basically, launch new AI models and who has to sign them off and basically checking them before
through a testing system, right?
Exactly, to basically not do what Fable and Mythos did.
But that is also just for the American models, right?
We did, and now it's formalized. Just like last week, it was basically an idea, and it was pretty quick, like 2 weeks ago, to be honest. But now it took 2 weeks, and basically now it's formalized. So they don't want to have that again, I think. Yeah.
But it was it is only for US models, right? I mean, how do they want to control other labs?
No, it will only be, I mean, they can of course control how Chinese models, for example, are used in the US, but they can't control them directly, of course,
True.
Will be interesting. But also, by the way, did you see Google released their own silicon chip? Like internally, it's not like for everyone, but it's called Frozen V2. And it is made to cut inference cost at scale. So basically for their own probably data centers in that sense. Just a more efficient chip like Apple does it.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see of how NVIDIA is also, like everyone is looking at NVIDIA. But also we talked about it, I think, the last episode about Meta also developing their own chips. Google also developing and is in close collaboration with Google, right? So it's going to be interesting.
But Google has one big advantage, and that is their Grok acquisition. I mean, that for us it was bad because they wanted to have some money back. That's why they cut their rate limits, probably.
That's probably where it's coming from, to be honest, the chip.
Exactly. I believe that they have the same APU architecture like the chips that ran basically Grok. So,
but just to mention, Grok not Elon Musk's Grok, but Grok with a Q, which was basically or is still, how do you define it? They build chips that are basically meant for speed, and they got bought out by Google.
Yeah, basically interference provider. But they bought them a while ago, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, it takes a while probably to.
Yeah, at least 6 months or more.
Yeah, but also then they have to, of course, build on top of that to develop their own chip. I don't think they just took their chips and said, hey, it's called Google Frozen V2 now.
No.
But
But it would
Will
be
be
interesting to. Oh, I might need to dig deeper into that because the jalapeno chip or OpenAI's chip is called jalapeno. Super awesome
Actually.
name. It's fun.
Fun.
But they developed that in I think under 2 months from prototype to actually deployed in their data centers, and that is actually crazy for developing hardware or a silicon like that runs big ass models. Fun.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see where it goes. I didn't see anything regarding statistics or benchmarks or anything in that direction yet.
Yeah, they say probably. But
I think before the podcast, we also talked about the lack of the new Gemini model, right? It ain't here yet. We're a month behind the schedule.
Yeah, but I believe I just said it before the podcast, but I believe that is also a thing that the market is super hot right now. There are so many new big models that are comparable to Fable 5, and Fable 5 is the North Star right now, the most intelligent model. So if Gemini 3.5 isn't actually on that level where they can basically compete with Fable 5, then it's probably not worth it to release, because then it just goes under and everyone flames Google for how bad the model is again and whatnot. And I mean, the last model also didn't got picked up that well from the community or from people that are using them. So
no, you're actually also right, because Reuters reported that internal goals on coding performance were not being met on the original timeline. So they're actually retraining and retweaking some stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, I have to. I personally wasn't impressed by the recent family of models. The Pro models are it, but I would never use it for coding or something like that, just for easy questions. And the Flash model oftentimes gave me completely wrong, or I had to like 5 times prompt it until it actually understood what's going on.
The only reason why I used the Google models before were those big context windows, the million tokens.
But they were the first one, no?
Yeah, they were
one
one of the first ones, and I mean they also brought TurboQuant. Exactly,
That's why the new one has 2 million, 100%.
So they do awesome work on the context layer or on that abstraction, but I mean the models on its own is okay, but it's not on frontier level.
But they're also going into different directions. Like if you look at the Gamma family and stuff, like they're looking into small, kind of really scalable, on devices that are out there already. I think that's pretty smart compared to other companies.
That is actually true.
We'll see what's coming out of it at the end.
I saw someone ran a small Gamma model on their phone.
You can download it on your iPhone.
Awesome.
It's even compatible. There's an app for your iPhone. I used it once, like a few months ago already.
Actually?
You can download the local Gamma models to your iPhone, and you can literally talk to your phone or to your iPhone, and it does actions. You can tell it to open Spotify. You can tell it like what Siri is supposed to be.
Fun.
You can do that with a Google model on your iPhone, and it works.
I only saw a jailbroken Android phone and ran some kind of Linux distribution, and that's how they
it's
got
pretty
it running.
cool, actually. Like, I guess that's how Apple got the idea of maybe buying a model from.
Maybe.
But let's see.
But I mean, there is another big news for this time American open source models. But true, I completely forgot that. But Kimi K3 was 22 billion, right? The evaluation after.
I don't remember.
No. What Tim just said, the company behind Kimi.
The valuation, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Moonshot. They were 22 million, right?
Billion.
Pardon.
Billion with the B.
And how much is Thinking Machine Labs?
12. I at least I don't know the up-to-date number, but it was 12 quite immediately.
Was it actually 12? Because I remember they had the largest pre-seed round of funding ever.
Yeah, 12 is quite massive for like a new company. I think there was a number at the beginning. I don't know how it looks like right now.
But no, Finn, you were right. 12 billion valuation, and they raised
massive,
staggering 2 billion without even publicly announcing what they're going to build.
Doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but
I
Sibi,
mean,
you can maybe go into detail in the new model and stuff, because
exactly,
I don't have too much.
Maybe not. They didn't do anything because I mean most of the founding team came from OpenAI, and that were those people that basically trained and scaled GPT-4.
Yeah.
So they.
Maybe before we dive in, give like a little overview of who's behind the company, what they did, and everything, because that's quite important in this context.
What was the name again? The CTO from OpenAI,
Murati.
It is a woman.
Yeah, this is super awesome, but it's a hard name.
Yeah.
But yeah,
no,
basically,
Murati is the last name at least. Yeah,
she is the founder, I guess, or one of the founding teams, and a lot of, like I said, OpenAI people or early OpenAI people went there. I don't have the full list of people that went, to be honest.
I think it was around like 10 to 12.
Yeah, but that was basically why they got so much funding. They had a proven team. They knew what they're doing, or they know what they're doing, and that's why they got so much money. But now they actually released, I think, 7 days ago, 1 week, on the 14th of July, their first ever open source, open weight model. And that is actually super amazing, called Inkling. Weird name, to be honest.
Right?
Yeah, it doesn't flow off my tongue.
No, it's not like a marketing term.
But it's kind of like seedling.
Cool. Not as bad as Fable, but yeah.
No, I love the name. I love the name. It makes so much sense. It's kind of like like a seedling. It's the first little grain.
It's like the first step.
Yeah. Let's see. But I mean, it is open source, American model, open weights. You get basically everything. And they did something really amazing, something that no other AI lab did so far, and that is they made it actually multimodal. What does that mean? It is not a vision model or a vision transformer just bolted onto the actual trained model, where it then translates the image into text or strings or numbers that the model actually can understand, but rather they built and trained the whole model on, what was it, 48 trillion
I don't
tokens,
know the exact number.
But huge training run, and a big chunk of that was actually audio, video, and images. So they don't have the decoder in front of it that actually does the model.
Understands them.
And that is super awesome. I didn't play around with it that much, but
the question for me is like, what is the difference? Like for me as an end user, obviously I know that like technology wise it doesn't decode it or encode it or whatever, but at the same time there has to be like the downside is the overall model performance is not like on par with frontier models right now. It's more like a bit below.
Yes, but that is also one thing that they pointed out. Their goal wasn't to try to beat Fable 5 like every other lab. They said, okay, we are building a good model, not the best, but a good. And the best part is you can fine tune it really easy with their API, Tinker API, I think. So basically, you can train the model on the Tinker AI through the actual Inkling model. So basically, you can say, or you can tell the model, hey, I want to train you that their marketing thing was, I think the model shouldn't answer with E and A. So they basically told the model itself to fine-tune their own model, so the responses are always without E and A. And basically the model just with a tool call then called the Tinker API to fine-tune itself and redeploy it into the chat. After I think 29 minutes, it got the new model version with the new weights into your chat, and you chatted with a new version of the model.
But then you fine-tune on their own, like on their hardware. And they just send you back like the post-trained kind of files.
The weights. Yeah.
But how much do you pay then for the API? Is that per... Because that's probably heavy inference costs if you do fine-tuning in that scale.
Yeah. Super heavy. I don't know how much it is actually with the API costs, but alone the feature that you can now basically train your own model with just talking to the model, and the results are actually really good and working.
Yeah, let's see. Crazy.
But just one more thing. I got the name wrong. It sounded very similar, but it's Mira Murati.
Murati, yeah.
Murati. Sure. Mira Murati.
Close enough.
Yeah. I think so too.
Yeah.
But she was CTO at OpenAI, right? Not that I get that wrong.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
CTO of, and now she's a CEO. Yeah, super interesting, and I think definitely worth watching in the next couple of months.
That's for sure.
I mean, they're clearly only getting started.
Yeah.
By the way, we didn't even mention the new GPT models, huh? Did we mention them last week? Yeah, we did. Terra, Sol, Luna.
No, we didn't.
We had 2 weeks break in between.
Yeah. Okay, just to be sure. Obviously, ChatGPT, as you probably realized, OpenAI, they released a new kind of family 5.6 as well. You have Luna, I believe, as the smallest, or is Terra the smallest?
Sol, Luna, Terra.
Yeah.
Terra is the smallest.
Terra is the smallest, okay.
Earth is
and then Luna is the in-between kind of, and Sol is a max model in that sense. And on the scales, it's kind of actually quite impressive. And I haven't tested it too much, to be honest. But I would say that in real life, there's probably not too much difference to Claude's performance in most use cases. But I couldn't tell you.
Yeah,
the harness is, of course, different.
Yes, some people say that Sol is on par with Fable. Some people say it's still
even with Fable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Sol is actually really good. But I mean, the good part about the OpenAI models is that they're really efficient with token use. So they're thinking the exact opposite of what GLM does. Basically, GLM is so intelligent because it lets its own thinking steer it basically and just produces so much tokens and then comes to the right answer. But OpenAI, I don't know what they did, but they heavily try to make it way more efficient. So the thinking of the Sol models or of the GPT 5.6, I believe also the 5.5 already started with that. But the thinking alone is so small that you get to the result way faster. That is also nice, but also makes it a bit weird again to now think about the token consumption too with basically what a token costs. So we need probably soon a new scale or whatever.
Yeah,
but
I think there's new benchmarks anyways.
The pricing wise, I think they're quite similar, right? I think Sol is also 30 output, and I think
they're probably
$5
30
input.
In and 50 out.
No.
Sol.
Yeah, I believe. I think they just matched it.
So it's a bit cheaper than Fable.
Yeah, I just checked it. Yeah.
No, if you had 30, I think Fable was 40. You said earlier.
Fable out is 50. Fable in is
50
30.
even. Okay, so it's the same. You're saying.
I thought
GPT
it's the same.
Could be
5.6. Sol is $5 in and 30 out. Terra is 2.5 in, 15 out. And Luna is $1 in and $6 out.
That is actually crazy.
But also, don't know if that's true right now, but Fable looks like it's also, introductory price is $2 in, $10 out, and now the main price is $3 in and 15 out.
Then they changed it completely. When they launched,
Nah, that can't be. That can't be. There has to be a wrong number. Let me double check here.
How much through the credits did you burn today?
It can't be. No, it's 10 in, 50 out. Yep. Okay. Yep, that was wrong. So $10 in, $50 out per million tokens. So
I believe they also changed it.
Yeah, probably. But Sol in that sense is cheaper. By the way, Fable has the same pricing as Mythos. Just noting.
Yeah. If you could access Mythos.
Yeah, but crazy that they didn't make Fable a bit cheaper. Come on.
I think they all need to grab some money now and give it back to the investors. I think so. OpenAI and all of those other labs
are long gone from that though. I think the investors won't see their money in a while.
No, Anthropic is actually on the way to get profitable through the interference. I think that is also why, they're not yet, but they're on a good way.
What does on the way mean? Like 15 more years or 5?
No. I believe even 1 or 2 years, not even.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on what you say, how much they are spending or not, because if you count the GPUs to them, then it's a different story. But if you count the GPUs to the other big firms that are just investing into Anthropic, then it's another book again. But they're actually the only frontier model lab that is on the way to getting profitable with interference.
I can actually probably show real quick. Yes, I can. Here. Can I make it a bit? It's a bit, you see it, right? Yeah, it's a bit small, but in that sense, at least what you're saying from Nate Ratna's source, don't take my word, it looks like you're on the verge of being correct, which is interesting, because I didn't think so. But it looks like Anthropic they do have quite a bit of revenue now.
But I'm not seeing your screen, by the way, no?
No?
I mean,
I'm
we're
supposed to
seeing
see
it, but we
something, I
don't
just
see
see the
any
background.
window.
Oh. Well, that's not
no.
nice. Wait. No,
Yeah,
you can see it.
But Anthropic grabs a lot of money through... What, it was a bit small for me.
Is it?
No.
No, I have my tab in a different...
Yeah. Can't really make it any bigger.
Anyway.
But yeah. So we'll see, to be honest. It's only projected for now, but it is already Q2. So let's see how that ends up in their financials.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see what is actually calculated to be their own infrastructure and what is not. Because if
they're probably
they
tricking
have...
around there anyways.
Yeah, definitely. But the question is not if they are tricking around. The question is how much.
How much?
But it's crazy. Guess how much XAI is burning per month?
Oh,
they're not
for training, interference.
Just for everything.
Wait, XAI now like after the merge?
Yeah.
Because then it's way more.
No, I don't.
That
think
was
so.
okay. No, that was to May 2026.
So before the merge with SpaceX
Yeah.
and stuff.
But they already had the deal, I guess. No? Yeah, they already had the deal, I think.
I'm not sure.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
I'm almost certain that they had their Colossus already. So
Probably. Yeah.
the biggest data
Yeah.
center.
So
But it didn't merge
I
with
need
SpaceX
numbers.
yet.
This episode, I will let Finn guess first.
In the whole, like in a month or in the whole quarter?
in a month.
Oh my god.
3.
5 to 10? Which would
Do you
be
say
crazy
me?
much. If Anthropic spends 10 billion a quarter, then it would be crazy if they do more.
4 billion.
Or the numbers are wrong, but let's
4
say...
billion.
Yeah, 5 to 10.
No, you guys
I'd
got a
say.
little
One.
bit ahead of
One.
yourselves. 1 billion.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more
Only
sense.
1 billion a month.
Hey, you see, nowadays it's like you expect the numbers to be here, but even 1 billion is
Bro,
crazy much.
1
Like-
billion.
It's already insane.
That is indeed
Yeah.
completely insane.
I mean, buy 5 RAM sticks and you're already at 5 billion, so it's...
I love to
Indeed.
see. I love to follow a few people on X. They're building basically their own home data center or whatnot, and
You
it
should.
hurts when they just buy basically RAM for 12K, just a RAM. I mean, yes, DDR5 and 256 gigabytes,
No,
all of that stuff,
no,
but 12K.
Still no.
Ouch.
I'm waiting
Ouch.
until the Chinese finally manage to get that up to scale production, and
Imagine,
then
it
because
must be
in
so
China
nice.
it's actually cheap to get
Imagine you're working on the project and you're the one who sells the RAM, who negotiates the price. I think you can basically just say whatever
Anything.
price you like. You can just like throw
it. They're gonna
something
pay it
out there
anyways.
and be like, "This is the price," and they were like, "Okay,
Let's roll the dice.
yeah."
Yeah, when was it? When Apple bought like basically half the world's storage of VRAM and stuff.
They also basically claimed, I think, 40% of the capacity till 27 or 28.
Insane.
it's-
And they're not even doing shit.
That is insane.
Yeah.
They're just rising my prices.
But I mean, when we're already on the data center thing, you sent in a really interesting link, Finn, with the OpenAI data center in Germany.
Yeah, I haven't read through it too much, to be honest. But it looks like there's at least rumors of OpenAI wanting to, basically start or build a data center in Germany itself. But to be honest, we heard that quite a lot from many companies, and even companies started building and then they decided to pull out. So it makes sense because Germany is in the heart of Europe, and it's kind of, if you manage to conquer the GDPR and stuff laws there, I think you're good in the whole of Europe. And at the same time, you have the data you can sell as market, data hosted and saved in Germany, which always sounds good. But let's see how Europe.
Not gonna lie, I think that is the decision to, or at least to try to go to Germany, I think is way more simple. And this is just because America doesn't have more energy. They cannot. I mean, 50%.
You're probably right.
50% of the 50% of the big data center projects were either cancelled or delayed because they cannot connect it to the grid.
Yeah, okay, but still, if you see it in comparison, they have so much more energy than us. They have oil, they have coal, they have gas. They just put up the turbines, and shoop-de-whoop, there is some more.
Elon Musk bought a company, not even SpaceX. Elon Musk himself bought a company that is doing turbines, or basically electricity generators.
Probably those gas turbines that he uses all the time at his data centers in the US, which are full on illegal, but nobody cares about them.
No, I think because they're on train tracks or whatever is again a special law or whatnot.
Yeah, they're tricking around or something.
Yes, but he bought it because they have capacity where he can connect to his data center. No one else has capacity
but
anymore.
It's gas turbines. Like, if you live close to that data center, good luck and have fun. I don't know about that, but yeah.
Yeah, but
plus he's doing very secretive.
Like those talks between Sam Altman and Merz, the German chancellor, that you guys were noting on.
I wasn't I didn't read through. So was there talks?
I did, but guess why it did not go through. So OpenAI basically proposed, on top of my head, the German government to become one of their flagships in Europe and building data centers in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And Germany would have invested into OpenAI. But basically why it did not go through, or why the German government said no, they said no, is they wanted to locate the data center very close to the French border for obvious reasons, to get cheap energy, and also energy that is not fluctuating. With a nuclear energy, you have one every time the same. Yeah. So, they didn't go through. I don't know if there's new talks, but
was quick.
They just fell through.
And to be honest, I don't know if I like the idea of Germany investing. OpenAI is enough
not
money.
At all.
It would be crazy. Like, if they want to build something in Europe, then do it. You have enough money from investors in the US. I don't know why you need more money from Germany again. But let's see. I don't think at the end it actually comes through.
It didn't go through. They already said no because they are also the whole process in Germany takes too long. The bureaucracy, so that's taking too long, and also the energy is just too expensive. So I would also not be surprised if we see in the next 1 year, hopefully, honestly, a switch in us seeing more nuclear energy being built in Germany, especially.
I mean, look at the nuclear stocks. Yeah, in Germany that would be interesting if we're actually we killed and fucking not even 5 years ago we killed all of our nuclear power plants. We got rid of all of them. They're all not even existing anymore. And now we want to
I'm telling you, it's gonna come. Think about it.
It has to, but I think we can't.
With data centers, we can, but.
Yeah, but the companies that were behind it, they all said we're never coming back to Germany. We're not gonna build there again.
Finn, where money is, there's also someone providing something.
Expensive.
How
expensive one nuclear power plant?
Yeah, a couple billions. But,
for sure.
And it takes, I think, a few years, 5 to 10 years.
For sure, for sure. But it will come. I'm very sure, because the other fusion technology is not there yet.
10 billion for a standard reactor.
Well, but in terms of AI, that's not too expensive.
Just want to
For
say.
having-
I'm hella pro. Energy from nuclear. Of course, there's risks, hella risks, but that's life.
But I think
actually,
the risk might be much greater of not having that
Fair.
energy and being able to provide EU-based data centers.
fair, yeah.
Well, it's going to be interesting.
All done.
Actually,
Yeah,
super
really.
interesting. I'm way too deep into the different models that I cannot consume any other news like that. It's crazy. Alone the new model releases is a full-time
Yeah.
job,
It is. It really is.
but fun.
I can't find really good statistic. This one is okay, I guess. I had one from I'm looking into power production capacities per country, and there was one graph from 2015 where China was already insanely high, and you gotta always say, even in renewable energy, insanely high. Like 2015 already 75% or something. This is not this one, by the way. This one is a bit
China has
newer.
the biggest solar.
Yeah, they
income
also have
of
and
energy.
water power, like all of that. They have the mountains and stuff. So they're
I
actually
think
doing a lot.
they just added what we produce in Germany in 1 year with solar energy. They just added in 1 year.
Yeah.
I saw a graph.
I mean, we're not even on the graph. We're just the EU overall. And the EU overall
okay, but we also,
is,
of course, much smaller, but still
Yeah.
the sheer, the scale, they just added what we built in the couple of
it's
years.
like 5 times the amount of Europe.
For sure.
It's also like 4 times, even more than 4 times the amount of people, but still crazy. Yeah, but let's see. I think energy production will be an interesting topic.
That for sure.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's all of my interesting topics. Do you guys have anything else for this week's podcast?
No,
Good.
I don't think so.
All right.
I think this is it.
All right then.
For this week. Episode 15 is coming to an end. We'll be back next week.
Indeed. Was great having you. And Sibi.
Sure.
Bye guys.